Poland's Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Radosław Sikorski is warning President Trump not to trust, he's not the first one to do this, not to trust Russia's Vladimir Putin. In an interview with CBS News intelligence and national security reporter Olivia Gazis, he addressed negotiations over the war in Ukraine, as well as Poland's recently launched investigation into the Jeffrey Epstein files. Here's some of that conversation.
You mentioned the costs that Russia has mounted to date. President Trump made a personal appeal to President Putin to stop bombarding cities like Kyiv, neighboring towns. Russia hasn't done so. They've continued those bombardments. What does that do to the perception of leverage that the American president has over the Russian president?
Well, and not only that, these are war crimes. To deliberately target civilian infrastructure is a war crime. Vladimir Putin is already an indicted war criminal for his stealing and Russifying Ukrainian children. So this is not someone we trust, and is not someone that the US should trust.
Your Prime Minister, Donald Tusk, recently announced that Poland would be investigating whether Jeffrey Epstein had any connections or involvement with Russian intelligence services. What leads your government to suspect that he did?
Well, there are reports in the British press to that effect. There are also, I'm told, I haven't read 3 million pages, of this monster seeking Polish children to recruit for his horrible activities. So, of course, when Polish citizens are either harmed or doing harm, we investigate.
Mm-hmm. The Prime Minister said that Russian intelligence may possess compromising materials against many leaders still active today. Do you know whom he's suggesting there?
Well, honey traps, that's a classic KGB tactics. Mm-hmm. And there seem to have been a lot of horrible compromise being produced. Mm-hmm. So yes, it requires investigation.
Olivia Gazis joins me now. Olivia, lots of what the foreign minister said about Russia, Ukraine has been said before. What was most interesting and jumped off that interview sheet for me was what he talked to you about with Epstein. Not only are they launching an investigation, but they think there's real things possibly still going on.
Absolutely. And we were speaking about this just a day after Prime Minister Tusk announced this investigation. So I think the Deputy Prime Minister, the Foreign Minister, was pretty deftly sidestepping much of the question, citing the freshness of the announcement. However, this is also Poland, right? This is a staunch ally of the United States, 250 years of relations, a top spender for NATO, by the side of the United States in most of the battles it's fought in the past 40 years, now wading into a radioactive issue for this White House. And there's a legitimate reason for Poland to be looking into it. As you said, there are Polish citizens that appear to have been victims of Epstein. There may have been Polish citizens involved in Epstein's organization. But if they do uncover credible links between Russian intelligence services and Epstein, that's a whole new layer of complexity to throw on this very fraught situation at a time when most alliances with European allies between the United States, including with Poland, are pretty strained.
Fraught complexity. Another word for that is can of worms.
Yes.
Olivia Gazis, really great stuff. Thank you so very much.